Our food truck is located on the
2501.
2561 on Tennessee and St. Cloud.
Nuestro proceso con el food truck comenzó en el 2019 en la 5145, aquí en la Isla of Bronson.
Our process with the food truck, we started on the 2019 on the Isla Bronson.
Cuando no era necesario el documento nuevo del uso condicional.
When it wasn't necessary, the new document for the authorization.
Me tuve que mover de esta ubicación por razones de construcción.
I had to move from that location for they was doing a construction.
Y comenzamos hace 2 meses aproximadamente en la ubicación nueva, en la 2501, en la 13th Street, St. Cloud.
And we started to operate on the 2 months ago on the 2501 13th Street in St. Cloud.
Nos orientamos con el señor Abimael y David, que trabajan para el City de St. Cloud.
Mr. Abismael and David just told us that work with St. Cloud talked to us about.
Ellos me dijeron que una vez yo llenara la documentación y llenara la documentación del uso condicional.
They told us that if we fill up everything for the documentation from conditional use.
Y pagara los $900, yo iba a poder operar hasta que se viera el proceso.
And if we pay the $900, we can operate all the time until the process or the situation can see by you guys.
So, en el día de ayer me visitó la señora Alexandra del Código y me dijo que no iba a poder abrir hasta que se viera mi caso.
So yesterday, Alexandra just came to my food truck and told us that we have to stop operating until our case can be processed.
So, la razón por la que yo estoy aquí es que estoy tratando de defender el sustento de mi familia. Somos una familia de 4 que queremos aportar a esta ciudad. Nos han dado el permiso de tax receipt, nos han cobrado los $900 y al final del camino nos terminan diciendo que no podemos operar en el lugar hasta que se vea el uso condicional.
So we are here because this is our only sustenance for my family. We are married, we are chef, and that's our only job. I just want to be by the law. We pay the $900, and we just want to, you to reconsider all that decision that you took about the food trucks.
Mr. Sturgeon, can you speak to this issue?
Yes, thank you,
at this
Mayor,
point?
council members. If you recall, last February 2021, we started to address the food truck issue, and this council directed us to develop a conditional use permit process. There were 7 food truck vendors that are included in that direction. Through several missteps on both sides, admittedly, first off, we didn't get the proper documentation we thought to make a decision to bring and make a recommendation to the council. We've subsequently come up with a process. We have a food truck manual that shows all the steps that need to be taken. And in fact, this gentleman was involved in the process, but he left the city and came back. The reason he was code enforced was because we had a complaint about the generator. Again, and right now, we've had 1 out of the original 7, we had 1 vendor drop out, and one of them went to a brick and mortar in town. So we have 5 left in the process. And
I guess my frustration with this whole process is it's taken way too long. And I said it, and the city manager even says I was right, because I said we need to make a decision and not drag it out, and that's kind of where we're at. Personally, I think if we don't have complete applications, they need to just be returned to the applicant. It's called a sufficiency review. Return it to the applicant, return their application dollars, and not consider them even in process until we have a complete application. That's my personal opinion on that. I think by letting it linger and people keep operating, I think that just makes everything a lot more complicated. I did ask the city manager today when we were talking about it, we had talked about trying to find some place in the city that, the food trucks could go in like kind of an organized fashion. I know the city's still looking for opportunities for that, but I'm sorry that he's going through this issue. I know the food truck, it's also got a flashing strobing light that I don't think we should probably have on the food truck facing 192. But I mean, that's my personal opinion. I think at this point, we should just say, if it's not complete applications, return them, return the dollars, and then not even start processing them until it is a complete, sufficient application. I know I talked with Ms. Miller 6 months ago about this, and I saw some of the applications, and they're not anywhere near being able to be reviewed. And even part of the application is the property owner has to sign the application, and even a lot of them, the property owner hasn't signed the application. So I don't even know why we're even letting it through the doors and considering it under review.
The only potential direction I think that the staff could get is if the council wishes to extend a similar grace period that was put in place with some of these earlier ones that stayed in the process.
But this is one of the ones that was in the process before, right?
I don't think staff is, because of the change in locations and the maneuver, it wasn't considered to be one of the ones that was in the process.
Correct.
Okay.
So it was one of the original ones. However, two things have happened since then. They moved out of the location they were, and they went missing in action for several months. So to us, they were out of the picture. Then they came back at the beginning of this year. So it was a year gap that we have no information from the applicant or contact at all.
So I would assume that the governor's executive order is still intact. That's the reason we're heading down this road in food trucks, Mr. Manzarres?
I thought it was
You mean the legislative action that dealt
Yeah.
with self-contained food trucks? Yes,
Right.
that's part of the reason why we're moving this direction.
Okay, and the reason I didn't vote for allowing food trucks, because I think conditional use is not the right way, but I guess I was the only one who felt that way. It's almost like if a business is going to allow the food truck there, why are we making the food truck do it? Why don't we make the business do it? They can do everything they need. The food truck leaves, they have access to another food truck. I don't know, the only reason I didn't like conditional use in this particular incident is because I didn't think it would ever get done, and I'm completely right. It's just really difficult, and this conditional use is great for a lot of other things. In this incident, it just didn't seem to fit the need. I don't know what the need is, and I don't know how to take care of this or the solution, but it just seems to drag a commercial business out that far, be it a food truck or anything, is just not good service from the city.
We're kind of at a standstill here on what to do. Do you have a recommendation to us, Mr. Manzarres?
It's this particular instance started, as I understand it, related to a complaint that was received by code enforcement. So it's in the code enforcement arena. Staff pursues code enforcement actions when complaints are made. If the council wishes to provide, as I said, a little bit more time for this property owner to come into compliance, we can certainly not pursue the code enforcement as aggressively. The other option is that the matter could be brought to in front of the special magistrate, which at time the special magistrate is required to give them a reasonable time to come into compliance at that point. So,
It's been a year plus that this has been going on. I feel like we've been, the longer we prolong it, then people get more, clientele, and then they say, I've been here a year, I think.
So, where do we go from here? To me, it's just frustrating. If you require other businesses to fill out an application, get it approved before you start your business, it seems to me that's where we ought to be with food trucks. And so you don't keep running down this road. Councilmember Askew.
Thank you, Mayor. If I could speak for businesses, and a food truck is a business just like any other business, and if they do get approved and the tax dollars stay right here in St. Cloud and we work out something, I personally don't mind giving them 3 months, because it sounds like it's kind of a challenge on both sides. And if this is his living, I knew we were going to kind of get into this, but if this is his living, I got to feel for his family and things like that. So as a business person, I feel that we should give something one way, but then in 3 months, it might not work. So Ms. Matheny brought up some valid points, you know, how do you do this when if you can get the proper paperwork in, I think that it seems a little cleaner, but we really need to fix this. It just doesn't seem like it's functioning correctly, or I don't know, you guys seem like you're getting it down with this application, but I don't know what the answer is.
I feel the same way, just let's get this thing done in the next couple months and just be done with it.
Easy for staff, easy for the business.
I don't want to give any more extensions personally. I feel like we've extended. I mean, how long has it been since they came
February
before council?
21.
Yeah, we had this discussion when we were meeting in
Yeah.
the summer, but
So it's been over a year. I mean, I don't want
All
any
right.
more extensions.
Mr. Irvin, give me an answer.
I'm a little torn here because I understand where Deputy Mayor Matheny's coming from, but also like Councilmember Askew said, I have a heart for small businesses, and I know that it's to make a living for your family is important. So
You're going to extend it for 3 months, right?
yes, sir.
All right, that's easy done now. You guys already done something, I'll do the same, that'll be for us.
all right, so
We're going to give you grace, so you need to get it resolved, you won't be giving this again, okay? And no more flashing lights, all right?